That evening started off like any other small gathering at our home. A few friends had come over, food was being shared, laughter filled the air, and for a moment I felt completely at ease. I settled into the couch, thinking the night would pass without incident. But sometimes, even the most ordinary moments can spiral into something unforgettable. One of her friends made an offhand joke about men and their insecurities. Normally it would have been easy to shrug off. But my wife, with a glass of wine in hand, decided to escalate it. She leaned back, smirked, and said, "Well, some men have a reason to feel insecure." Everyone immediately realized the target of her comment. The room went quiet for just a beat, and then nervous laughter trickled out. I froze. I couldn't believe what had just happened. The person I trusted most in the world had just chosen to mock me in front of friends. I felt my stomach drop, a mix of shock and hurt washing over me. At first I considered keeping quiet, swallowing my feelings and moving on. But something inside me refused to stay silent. I leaned forward and met her gaze. Calm but firm, I replied, "Maybe I'm ordinary, but you've always played in a league so big that an average player like me will inevitably feel small." The pause that followed felt like it lasted forever. Then suddenly laughter erupted around the room. Her friends were doubled over, some trying to hide their amusement but failing miserably. The humor landed far harder than I expected. Her expression changed instantly. The smirk vanished, replaced by redness and the unmistakable heat of embarrassment. Tears began to gather in her eyes, and before anyone could react, she bolted upstairs, slamming the bedroom door behind her. The rest of the night was awkward and uneasy. Even though people tried to carry on, everyone knew the mood had been shattered. I tried to appear composed, but inside I was shaking. Part of me felt guilty for retaliating so sharply, but another part of me knew it was necessary. The next morning was quiet. She didn't come to bed the night before, and when she finally emerged, she looked drained and pale. Sitting across from me with her coffee in trembling hands, she whispered, "I'm sorry." I stayed silent, wanting to see if her words were genuine. Her voice cracked as she explained, "I didn't realize how harsh that sounded. I thought I was being funny, but seeing everyone laugh made me understand how it must have felt for you. And later, when I thought about it alone, I realized the pain I caused. I know I humiliated you, and I felt the sting of it too when you spoke. That's when I knew I went too far." I listened, torn between seeing her vulnerability and reliving the memory of that moment. The words and laughter were burned into my mind. We spoke at length that morning. She admitted she hadn't intended to wound me and that her attempt at humor had been foolish. I told her that some remarks, especially public humiliation, leave marks that can't be erased. She agreed, acknowledging how unsettling the look on my face must have been. That night marked a turning point in our relationship. It wasn't just a joke gone wrong, it was about respect, boundaries, and understanding the weight of one's words. She finally experienced what it feels like to be on the receiving end of humiliation, and I realized the importance of standing up for myself, even when it's uncomfortable. I don't feel triumphant when I remember it. It wasn't about winning, it was about showing that respect in a partnership is essential. Even with her apology and tearful admission, the memory lingers for both of us. Sometimes, it takes a moment like that for someone to truly grasp the impact of what they've done. The lesson is simple. Careless words can cut deep, and once spoken, they cannot be undone. Reactions rarely follow a predictable path, and the consequences can be far greater than anyone anticipates.